In September of 2020, New York City public schools faced the biggest challenge in their recent history, reopening the nation's largest school system safely for students and staff amid a pandemic after shutting down schools in March, moving students to all remote learning. Coronavirus took the lives of 100 school staff members, with more than 10,000 positive cases. Mayor Bill de Blasio delayed the start of school for in-person learning over and over, with a staggered approach by grade.
Learning in person is better for me.
But to get to that point, the union and city agreed on a series of safety protocols, including a ventilation overhaul of all 1,800 school buildings. That process heavily criticized after toilet paper on a stick was used to check the airflow out of vents. Classrooms deemed unsafe were taken out of service. Desks socially distanced 6 feet apart with a maximum of 11 students and staff in each classroom. PPE for all school staff and everyone in the building wearing their mask each day with a break for lunch. Random monthly coronavirus testing for students and staff. One positive case would shut down a classroom. 2 unrelated positive cases would shut down the school building for a 10-day quarantine. But contrary to the city's belief of students wanting in-person learning, 70% of the New York City public school population chose not to return to the classroom, opting for remote learning, and the city was not prepared. The majority of families choosing to stay at home were the same communities hit the hardest by the pandemic, highlighting educational inequities in New York City. The city's students are 40% Hispanic, 25% Black, 16% Asian, and 15% white. However, 12,000 more white children returned to the classroom than Black students. The majority of Asian students also chose remote learning, and Latino students returned at a proportional rate. Homeless students were left behind, struggling to get thousands of kids the devices and Wi-Fi needed for a productive online lesson.
Our students, our children, they're not getting the materials or the items that they deserve, that they need for school.
For those 300,000 families in school, it was a roller coaster of emotions, the joy of seeing their children back in school for some hours of normalcy, and then the despair when schools shut down for positive cases.
Remote learning does not work, especially for my son. He's in special ed.
Health officials confirming school transmission of coronavirus was low, but keeping COVID-19 at bay across the 5 boroughs was a challenge. Union leaders promising a fight if schools weren't shut down in areas with high community spread.
If they don't get this trend down, yes, we would definitely be demanding that those schools start to be closed.
In a devastating blow to the city, when the city reached a conservative 3% test positivity rate over a 7-day rolling average, Mayor de Blasio shut down schools on November 19th. 960,000 students across 1,800 schools were now all remote learning. In December, the stage was set once again for a staggered reopening. Elementary and special needs schools opening first on December 7th.
We're going to let the facts and the science drive our decisions.
To reopen, city and union leaders agreed to increased weekly coronavirus testing for 20% of each school's population. Middle schools followed February 25th. The mayor is promising a strong comeback of in-person learning this September.
It's February. September's a long way away in light of, what we're dealing with COVID. We're always going to be sensitive to families that might still have concerns, to educators and staff that might still have concerns. We're going to really work on that, but we have a lot of time to work that out.
Kala Rama, Pix 11 News.